This has been one of the biggest stories of the year. Like, we have really ended 2024 on like a massive scale. And the whole incident of the UnitedHealthCare CEO being shot dead in the middle of the street of NYC has been a massive story. It's easily one of the biggest stories of the year. And I made a video about it the other day, and I was kind of speculating of who I think, like what kind of person the shooter may have been. And to me, from the knowledge and from the research that I did, because I saw that United Healthcare Group, like it's not just like that company itself, but also its parent company had been involved in a lot of controversies in the past. So to me, maybe this was like some kind of setup. To me, maybe like someone bigger, someone like hired some guy to offer CEO. That's what I was kind of speculating about, because that's really all I had gotten about this. But now it has come out of who the shooter is, because he has actually been caught, and the way he has been caught has been absolutely hilarious. And we're going to go into more detail about this guy, but before we do, we're going to talk about how he got caught. So on the day of the shooting, before he went out and killed the CEO of United Healthcare, he was at a McDonald's and he was caught flirting with the cashier, where he pulled his mask down, and CCTV footage got a clear look on his face, and the girl who was working the counter actually snitched on this dude and outed him to the police because she recognized him, and she was like, damn, I was talking to this guy, I see his photo, I know who this guy is. So she helped the police identify him, and he has now been officially caught. Within an hour of him being put out onto the internet and people seeing a picture of him and getting his name, we have so much information about this guy. There has been multiple threads made on him already on Twitter, and we're going to go through one of them. And this is a thread made by that taco dude on Twitter. I think this thread has like over 4 million views at the point of me recording this video, but there is so much about this guy. So one, he was actually an Ivy League student. So from that, straight off the bat, you already know that he is well off. I mean, I'm here in Australia, but even I would know when it comes to American, because I like, I like American sports, and I know about college football and all that kind of stuff. So an Ivy League school is basically like a higher up school. It's an expensive school. It's not easy to get into an Ivy League school. And you have to be, one, either really wealthy, or two, really intelligent, or both. That is how you get into an Ivy League school. Like, even I know that from someone who doesn't live in America, that getting into an Ivy League school is not easy. Apparently, his GitHub account leads to a Facebook account named App Raw Studios. So he had his own like app company, or he was somehow involved in that. Apparently, he often reposts tweets about anxiety. These were like related to like microdosing on shrooms as well, which a lot of people have kind of like put two and two together. So he was obviously dealing with some kind of depression or anxiety. There's a video of him giving his valedictorian speech at Gilman School in 2016. I'm not 100% sure, because like I said, I'm Aussie, but I think valedictorian is basically like you get high honors. Like, to do a valedictorian speech, I've heard about it before, and all I know is that you have to be academically smart. Like, you can't just be some run-of-the-mill nobody. You have to be a relatively smart dude. People have found this guy's Facebook account. Apparently, it's come out that friends that went to high school with Luigi, because that is his name, said that what keeps coming up is a back surgery that changed everything for him, and he went absolutely crazy. And supposedly this checks out his Goodreads history and the x-ray in his header on X. Like, people got his Goodreads account of like what he was reading in the past, and they seen that he read stuff about back pain and like different like back mechanics and all that stuff. And apparently he, in his Twitter bio, in his Twitter header as well, there was a picture, an x-ray of like obvious back surgery and some kind of like metal rods being inserted into the lower back, which people are speculating to be his. Like I said, people found his Goodreads, where he's listed over 295 books. Academically, he holds both a master's and bachelor's degree computer science from the University of Pennsylvania. He's also cousins with the sitting Maryland state delegate. When he was arrested, a gun and a fake ID was found in his possession. People have found his last liked quote on Goodreads, which reads, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better it's not. And there's also been speculation of the reasons of why he done this, where supposedly Luigi's disdain towards the healthcare industry is likely due to its treatment of an allying relative, according to the New York Post, because his grandmother passed away in 2013 and his grandfather in 2017 as well. And he also had multiple videos scheduled to be uploaded onto YouTube following his arrest. So it's almost like he knew he was going to be arrested and scheduled certain videos to be released on YouTube. People also have seen that apparently in one of the YouTube videos that has been uploaded, you can see that December 11th flashes in the bottom corner. So we don't know what's going to happen on December 11th, but I am guessing, to my knowledge at least, that if he does have some kind of videos scheduled, if I was YouTube, I would 100% stop them from being posted. You can't let something like that come out, because he's definitely going to have some kind of crazy ideology or some kind of crazy mental breakdown. So I definitely think that it's best not to like let those videos get published. He had a massive following on Instagram as well, which his Instagram account at this point in time has been deleted. Videos of him being taken into the court by police, and then also CNN reports the discovery of a 2-page document. So his manifesto was found on him, and apparently has a lot of chilling lines, with one of them reading, "These parasites had it coming. I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done." Apparently he also had $8,000 in USD, $2,000 in foreign cash, and a cellular data blocking bags to prevent any tracking of the notes that he was carrying. He has been charged with murder in connection to the CEO of UnitedHealthCare, Brian Thompson. Also, because he is a relatively well-off person, apparently his family relatively known as well, they are a relatively known family, a big family, very wealthy, and they wrote a statement saying, "Unfortunately, we cannot comment on news reports regarding Luigi. We only know what we have read in the media. Our family is shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news." This is huge. I mean, like I said, this all came out within an hour. Within an hour, and some of it coming out, his actual arrest and what he's been charged of didn't come out till obviously hours and hours later. But when his name and his photo first got leaked onto the internet, 90% of this information was found within an hour, because his life was relatively public. Like I said, he was an Ivy League student, apparently had a massive following. He posted a lot on all different types of social medias. He retweeted things, Goodreads account as well. His Instagram had a decent amount of following. He was relatively well known within a space as well, in the people that he went to school with. So to be honest, doesn't really surprise me, considering he looks, I think he's in his mid to late 20s as well. He's obviously been on the internet for a long time. So to be honest, it's really not that hard for someone who's been on the internet, someone who's a public person like he was even before he did this shooting. It's not that hard to find this much info about someone. Now, when it comes to the reasons why he has done this, obviously what I gave in my last video was completely wrong, and I'm absolutely fine with that. But now there are 2 reasons of why someone like this would go ahead and do it. And obviously when it comes to the motive behind it, it's definitely got to do with his disgust and his distrust in the healthcare system of America, which even I know that, the private healthcare in America is really terrible. I mean, healthcare in general in America is really horrible. And then considering that his grandmother passed away in 2013 and his grandfather in 2017, maybe that when they were passing away and when they had some dire health issues, they weren't being taken care of properly through either United Healthcare Group or maybe another private healthcare, and he just decided to take it out on this specific. But I'm guessing it would be, if he goes after this CEO specifically, I'm guessing that the healthcare that he would have been with, at least from my, this is me just speculating, I'm not putting anything into solid information, but I'm just saying that I'm guessing that his family was with United Healthcare, and, they probably failed his grandparents somewhere along the line. And then also the fact that he had back surgery as well, and his injuries maybe led to him kind of going off the rails, which I can see that, because I have had 2 knee surgeries, and when you have any type of major surgery on your body, it affects you like completely, affects you mentally and physically. Not just physically, but it affects you mentally. And I've had back issues in the past as well. Like I've slipped my disc multiple times. So the fact that this guy had to go full on to the point where he needed lower back surgery, I mean, yeah, this could definitely put him in a bit of a spiral, but people are trying to figure out of whether it's more of he did this for some kind of ideology or he did this because he was like not mentally stable. So that's where like everyone's drawing the line of like what he did it for, like what was it behind. Like the motives are kind of there. He had two grandparents die in the space of like 5 years, and supposedly they weren't treated right in healthcare. Then he's also had, you know, back surgery as well. So you can definitely tell that he's dealt with these private healthcare companies in one way or another, and they obviously didn't go well for him to do this. Did this lead him to have an ideology of the American healthcare is bad, or is it that because of the things that happened in his life, he kind of went on a downward spiral, went into a massive depression, and kind of went a little bit crazy, which led him to do this, and he's kind of like doing things where he's not like all there and he's not mentally sane. So that's really like what people are trying to come to the conclusion of. Which way I think it is, I mean, I wouldn't know. I definitely think that we're going to get a lot more information come out about him and about his mental state. So I'm very curious to see which way they go about it. Like, yes, he has been charged for the connection in the killing of the CEO of UnitedHealthCare, but whether he gets found like completely guilty and it's over like some kind of ideology, or maybe he will like, you know, be put in a mental hospital because he's seen as not mentally stable. So we'll have to wait and see, but I would definitely like to hear what you guys would think about all this down below. Like, what do you think he's real? Like, do you think it's an ideology that he did it for, or do you think that he's just not all mentally there? But that's going to be it from me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.